Well, we're back out at the farm. Try to get some work done, and as you can see, Mother Nature has blessed us with yet another deluge of rain. So, pond is full. We're looking right here back up into where the house is supposed to go. See the excavator sitting right there in the fog. And that appears to still be isolated. There's a little high spot of dirt right there, so it doesn't look like the water backed up from the pond into the pad. So we'll be able to get the pad pumped off in just a couple hours. But interestingly enough, I had a new failure this morning that I just noticed. I just got here and I saw water running into the pond right here. Now I dug and piled all this up way back in the beginning and it's never leaked. But I mean, we are at max capacity now as far as water standing out here in the trees. You can see it's all full of water and it's flowing. I can actually see it flowing this direction to the west. And it had found its way through a little low spot back here and was running down and around and through the little cuts and running right into the pond at a pretty steady little rate. So just now, I didn't have my shovel or anything with me, it's in the truck, but I just started grabbing handfuls of clay and just packing them into that little, you know, it was just a little channel that it had cut down. And that shut it off for now, but I got to walk back to the truck and because I can't get to that at all with the excavator to patch it up high. So I'll just go grab a shovel and pack it up there as much as I can. But you know, it's a shocking reality because I got so complacent out here when it dried out this past summer. I forgot how high the water can actually get. I mean, all out there through those trees you're looking at, you know, there's spots you walk through there, it's a foot deep or more. And so when you're looking out across, you know, all these little ups and downs and hills and humps and polys, you kind of lose track of what your elevation is. I need to get a transit from my buddy and actually, you know, shoot some elevations, but I've just been kind of running on, you know, if you stack it up a solid 3 or 4 feet high, there's no way water can come through. I did think I had another failure on my levee. Let me walk over there and show you what I thought had happened, but what I think my dozer guy was saying actually happened. So I'll walk over there and show you. So maybe this is the spot my dozer guy was talking about, I don't know. But he said there was 2 high spots of dirt with a low spot between. You know, when he said that, I thought he was talking about, you know, the massive topsoil pile over there and then another topsoil pile behind it with the short levee that I showed you all in the last video I built up. But maybe he was talking about this, I don't know, but here's the little spot I was mentioning where the water managed to break through. So this is just, you know, this is back from day one when I first broke ground on the pond. I piled these little piles of topsoil back in here, just trying to put them anywhere I could to get them out of my way, and kind of lost track of them, and somewhere along the way I thought that what I had through here was sufficient as barrier, but it was not. So you can see the water got in through here and then ran down, and you can see the path it's cut. It did this for a good while. It cut all the way down through there, ran over and around the corner, and then was dumping into the pond over there. So I've got it built up now with a shovel. It's maybe 8 or 10 inches high. I'm gonna come back and work on it some more because I want it to be really high. I piled up a little more right there too because that was kind of a low spot. It was still a couple inches above the water, but you know what the heck, if I'm here I'll build it up too. So I got one water pump going, you can probably hear it. I'm gonna go get the other one started and then I'll come back and work on trying to patch this up a little bit more. Alright, so got the second pump running, sitting down there on the pallet, on the mat. First pump sitting over there on the pond bank. I'm just gonna let them run for a couple hours on the pond. I'm not as worried actually about pumping off the house area. It needs to be done, but I know that, you know, it's good solid clay. The water doesn't soak in but, you know, an inch or two. So since the pumps were already sitting back here, it's where my dozer guy left them. I'll just fire them up here. So whew, had a little scare on that one. It acted like it was locked up at first, like the pump was plugged up with something, made me smash my knuckle, which of course ticked me off. But I got it broke loose and got it fired up and running. So you can see this one over here running alongside of my dirt pile and dumping out. And I've got this little bit of the levee right here that we pushed up with the dozer a long time ago, and it's really only about 4 or 5 inches maybe above that. So go grab the shovel and I'll put a little cap on this one too, but first I got to go back over there and fix where I was working. So anyway, it looks like it's going to be a nice long day full of pumping. I'll be lucky if I actually get to do anything with the excavator, as muddy as it is. Well, it ain't much, but I got something done today, more than I thought I would actually. I ran the pumps all day and actually ran the excavator quite a bit. It was really soft. I was able to actually get up on top and eventually was up here using my mats. But there's my levee that I thought my dozer guy said it broke, and it clearly didn't, so that's good. But let me jump up here on top and show you what I managed to do. I basically just spent the whole day trying to flip this material back, you know, more and more, just moving it further and further back. And got, you know, a lot more down in here opened up to get to the clay. But like I said, with having to work on my mats and with it being soft, you know, it's just solid enough you can drive onto it, and then you start to real slow, just kind of bog down in it. So using the mats really slowed it down, but I got up here on top. Actually, where I'm at now is what will be the final placement of the pond dam. So you can't really see, but I mean, there's the tree line. So I'm standing what will be eventually the main, well, there, those two T-posts are inside and outside of the pond dam. So maybe that one's outside and that one's corner. I think I set that one just as a 10-foot offset to give me clearing. I don't really remember what I was doing. Doesn't matter. This is going to be the pond dam someday. So this material is placed final. This is where it will stay. Probably shave some off of it eventually, or stack more on here and there as needed, but most of it's going to stay here and not get moved again, so that'll help at least get something finally put in place. And I was thinking about, I was going to start extending the dam on around like it's supposed to be, but again, with it being working on the pumps, I was working on the mats, I was kind of running out of options on what I could do and where I could get, so I just gave up on it. But as it dries out, we'll get a dozer or whatever up here on top, and we'll just keep pushing out, working our way out. But I'd like to get all that choppiness filled in, because I showed y'all where that little leak had cut through and caught me off guard. But went ahead and moved my mat. I've moved it twice now, and I dug out in front, dug it deeper. My pumps were already shut down, but I went ahead and dug it down, getting deep there. So should be able to set both pumps right there on the mat and have a deep suction hole right in front of them, and then kick them up and over the pond dam. So that'll help too. That pump ran over there all day long, but you can see the hose is just about to break the water. So anyway, just want to give you all that little update. I'm gonna carry this pump at least up here on top of the pile until my dozer guy can get out here and pick it up. My dozer guy, my pump guy. Guess I should just call him Gary so you guys don't get confused. Anyway, he's planning on coming out here tomorrow and picking them up, but I think it's supposed to rain tonight, and you know, the way things go out here, it very well could fill this sucker up again. So I'm gonna go ahead and carry it up here on top of the pile so at least it won't get sunk.